What's up, y'all? Oh, I'm back to this camera now? All right, there. What's up, y'all? This is Big Bashana. Who am I? I'm King Bear Sadat, and this is Ed Lyles. We're here with the
Hey.
old heads, back again here in Below, New York. Sorry, but back at it. Want to talk about a few more things. Welcome again. Yada yada, running my mouth. Anyway, look, want to talk about Buffalo sports
Let's do it.
specifically. And this week, Doug Whaley, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, came out and had his big conference where he was going to talk about the firing of Rex Ryan and the hiring of who they're going to get next, and basically sat there and looked like a deer in headlights, didn't answer any questions, was vague, and got to the point where one of the reporters asked him after he said that he didn't fire Rex, he didn't hire Rex. One of the reporters said, "Well, what is it that you do?"
Hey, I'm like Isaiah Thomas. I just sit here and look fly, basically.
Right. I said, "Look, fly, and try to get this check."
Right.
It's funny to me because it seems like the Pagulas, as much as Buffalo's a poor area, and one of the few things we have is our sports team, the Sabres and the Bills. And Pagula came in here and saved the Bills. I mean, quite frankly, when Ralph Wilson died, it was a big chance that the Bills were going to go away. And everybody was really happy that this billionaire who made his money off of fracking, which fracking is awful, but, which is kind of has me kind of twisted on how I feel about, the fact that he saved it. But I love the Bills and the Sabres anyway, so I'm fine about it. But if you look at it, both organizations are not doing very well. Both of them are bottom dwellers the Sabres are bottom dwellers in the division, and the Bills haven't made the playoffs in 17 years. But the one thing that I will say is that I've often said this, good thing that the Pagulas spent the money and that they saved the team, but much like if someone buys a home, I always tell people, just because you bought a house doesn't make you an electrician. There's things about your new acquisition where you need to hire professionals to work it for them. They should hire, and as you see they did with
like Washington used to do. They spend gobs of money. Snyder, I think, is the owner of the
yeah, but he didn't do anything either.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a perfect example before the Pagulas took over the Bills. And it seems like they need some really good front office help. And I know what part of the issue is. It's just so hard to get people to come to Buffalo.
Right.
And it's like, hey, if I want to be in a bottom dwelling team, I want to be on the bottom dwelling team in Miami.
Well, you got to exactly. It's much more. Yeah, I'd rather make $1 million living in Miami than $1.5 million living in Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
But that being said, you have what you need to do then is to hire a brilliant football mind and pay them enough money to make them want to come here. Make them an offer they can't refuse. Hey, look, you're brilliant. We're gonna pay you $3 million a year to be in Buffalo. Give you something, whatever. Potentially, I don't know what the hell you give them, but you make the offer so big they have to be here, and then you go back and hire another Bill Polian. You hire one of these geniuses to actually make a difference in your football team because what they're doing right now is just silly.
Dog chasing his tail.
It's ridiculous. And we were talking about how you got Pagulas. They have all the stuff they're buying. But nobody in the building wants to say anything to them because nobody wants to. You
don't want to bite the hand that feeds you.
Thank you.
And so that was one of those situations that the young GM, it seems like he's just along for the ride. Just like the interim head coach, they bombarded him with a lot of questions too.
He had no answers.
And it's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to coach this last game and see what happens from there. No one told me anything. I'm the head. They fired Rex Ryan. They walked in the office. You got the reins. Was that 2 weeks just for this week? You don't know. And so I think the biggest thing is the people that own the team never came up there and got in front of the mic and say, hey, what's the plans for the future? But when you own the team, you pay people to talk. So if they need a press secretary or a press agent or whatever, but typically the head coach is the guy that fields all the questions and concerns that the reporters would have or the fans would have. But it hasn't been done. It doesn't seem like it's been done. But everybody's new.
It's really funny because it's exactly the same situation that the United States government's faced with. I mean, you got a rich person who's in charge, or if maybe he's rich, who knows? We haven't seen his taxes. But you have a rich person in charge of everything, but he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He has no diplomacy. He has no background in politics. He's running his mouth on Twitter, telling the whole world what he's thinking. He doesn't even know how to play poker and hold his hand to himself. keeps himself to himself. Everybody don't need to know. Everyone doesn't need to know everything. That kind of thing.
And then he's already then had it out with the U.S. Intelligence Department. But I could see it going either way with the Intelligence Department because he didn't go to a brief, and he said he don't want to be briefed every day. It's like that's what you guys are being paid for, and I can see it on that from that stanza. And also he fired on them and said, "Hey, you're the same guys that briefed every day and said Iraq had the weapons of mass destruction. You guys got us in the war." And then the Intelligence Department's like,
right,
we didn't do that.
So we're gonna come back to the Intelligence Department. I want to go back to the football thing, and only because we were talking about the whole Pagulas and all that stuff. I just want to talk about them a little bit more. Okay. I was just trying to compare. It's the same situation.
Oh, okay.
Wherein
yes, of course. Okay.
you have somebody who's rich and in charge, and just because they have money doesn't mean they know anything. About how to bake a cake. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know how it is with rich people.
They think they know everything.
This is my 101st Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know anything about Ferrari,
right.
But I write checks to them.
Right. Why do I have to listen? They're talking to the Ferrari mechanic and say, why do I have to listen to you? I made $5 billion last year. How much you made? 5 Ferrari engines. How many did you make, fool? You know what I'm saying? Like it's insanity. It's insane to me how people put value on the wrong things, and how someone who's in a position of power doesn't have the ability to know that they need to get help with someone, with whatever it is they're doing. Like for example, we all know people have different skills, and you don't go to your let's say, for example, if one of your aunts makes a mean apple pie, let's just say, you don't go to her when you want to get help with getting your engine rebuilt.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? You talk to the engine people. So I just don't understand why these people who have all this money don't have the ability to say, look, I'm going to pay you to do what you've been doing all your whole life and to run this team for me so that we'll win. Instead of just saying, I'm rich, I have an idea on what I'm going to do, we're going to do it my way. Or have, for example, I'm the coach, you're the GM, and you're in charge of all the football operations, but I don't have to report to you. I go report to the bosses, and now I'm not being held accountable from anyone. We're not on the same page. That's what I mean. You have an organization where everybody's on their own page doing their own thing. It's just insanity to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, but then again, in the back offices, the Pagulos may have a long-term 5, 10, 15-year plan for the team. Maybe they want to move them back downtown. They want to shrink their payroll so they can have them free up more money to do other things, because they don't want to pay a big, huge payroll, then move the team, then pay for a stadium and things like that. So it's always easy to look over inside the box and try to figure out what's going on. So, but we won't know what their plans are. So we'll just have to see over the long run what's going to happen, or what type of coach they bring in. The GM is a good-looking young brother. Hopefully he has some ideas and get some people in. Or like I said, maybe they're just trying to hold up salaries so they can save that money for moving downtown or something like that. Hopefully they'll move downtown.
It's
That'd
funny
be awesome.
you talk about Doug Whaley being a good-looking young brother. I once said to a friend of mine, I don't know if I like Doug Whaley because he's black or because I like what he's doing with the football team. Doug Whaley, and you weren't here then, but Doug Whaley was hanging out all up and down on Elmwood, hanging out at Toro, hanging out at having a good time. He's out a lot in the Buffalo area, out and about. And he is a good-looking young brother, but what is he doing? Like, being black is not good enough, is what I'm saying. We can't just keep. I mean, as black folks, it's great for us to see people in positions of power, because as kids we never saw that. So I think that there's great value in showing you too can be this. When I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I think that had I seen more writers, I might have had more interest in being a writer. But I didn't even think that was a possibility for me. So there's value there. But the thing is that that's not enough. The question is, what's the deal with the substance?
Yeah, but he's an employee.
Right.
So he can hang out every night if he wants to. If they're giving
I was trying to say he's cool. That's all I'm trying to say.
But if they giving him to the edge of the table and that's as far as he can go, hey, he done his work.
Right.
He's gonna get his check and sit down and shut the hell up. Like I said before, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. So we really don't know what the Pagulas overall.
No one knows what goes on behind the scenes.
War strategy is.
Yeah, I got you. Well, you look at something like Bill Polian, right? Bill Polian was the man. He ran everything in Buffalo, even sometimes against what Ralph Wilson wanted. And that's exactly what got him fired. Bill Polian got fired because Ralph Wilson didn't like the fact that it was his team and Bill Polian's not listening to him. So then what happened? We get rid of Bill Polian. He goes to build a champion in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why not get that football mind, pay him, check your ego, and worry about winning?
That's rich folks for you. You know, they have all the answers.
Right.
If they didn't have all the answers, they wouldn't be worth X million billion dollars.
That's what they think.
And they had a certain way they made their money, and so to them, it's like, hey, if it's not broke, why try and fix it? I made all this money without the bills. If I run the bills the same way I ran my oil fracking business, it should be perfectly fine. And
what kind of insanity is that?
They live in a very small world, and when you got money like that, usually most of the people around you are yes people.
So because I ran a successful Apple store, I can now make chicken wings.
Hell, shit. Donald Trump filed for bankruptcy 7 times and lost gobs of money. They voted him president of the United States. He can't run his business, but he gonna run the whole fucking country.
The whole country. He run his business into the ground. What's next? Us.
Well, we already in the ground. It's just, hey, we just need a tombstone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was including myself as an American. I ain't mean black folks. My bad. We are already getting our ass handed.
And America too. If we black America, I mean, what do we lead the world in? We'd have 5% of the
obesity.
5% of the world population and 25% of the world prison population.
Yeah, we lead the world in the most. It would say, this comedian was saying that in the land of the free, you have the least amount of free people in any of the free countries.
That's crazy when you really think about that. China got 1.5 billion people. We got more people in prison than
China? No way. Maybe a more larger percentage. Ain't the way we got more people in China.
We have more human beings.
Oh, I gotta see that one. I believe you because you said it.
In the clanks than China.
Damn.
Is that crazy or what?
They've got 4 times the amount of people as we do, at least. What are you laughing at?
But it's a big bit. But see, hey, they shoot them here too. So
and they just said something today on about what is it, Kim Jong-un said they got a decapitation squad.
Wow.
Damn.
We got squads here too. They pull you over and shoot your arm off. So we not far behind them.
Word. Speaking
and we're a free nation.
I'm gonna change the subject real quick. I just remember something about. I don't know how much time we got left, but maybe I'll go back to that later. But oh, damn, the Black Fathers thing. We were talking about the Black Fathers thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, black folks got so much going against them. I was actually in the car today talking to a friend of mine about how I can't really talk about that. Sorry, man.
Got to censor that. See,
Yeah,
we in
censor
America.
that one.
Censor
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, you say what? Freedom of speech, right? Speech ain't free. There's a cost to everything you say. You got to think about. I was talking to a friend of mine across the country about him doing the similar things we do as I'm doing. He goes, "Man, I got a job too." He's like, I don't keep it real 100%, but I try to keep it somewhat real. But some people might think that I'm way too much. He's like, shit. And they see my thing, I might get fired anyway. Who knows what's going to happen?
Deion Cole talks about in his comedy machine, you got to tone your blackness down.
Oh man.
Say you can't go into work with black on 100. Oh no, you got that 50%.
You got to have black on like 20%.
20%. You can't go full 100. They not ready.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't really know where we're gonna go right now with the subject matter. So
we can talk about the Black Father stuff and.
I mean, I have some more things. I didn't write down what I want to talk about the next one. Man, I'm sorry. You were just saying something about. I don't know what it was. Damn. That's what we got to start. We got to do pre-prep shows for pre-preps on the show.
Yeah.
What's some of the things you want to talk about there?
Obamacare.
Oh, we're talking about Obamacare, right? What's up, Bible? Well, the question is, who's available at 10? That's the question. That's a good. Thank you, genius on our computer genius on the other side.
What positions do they need to fill quarterback?
The quarterback, but I think that if they got enough, we need safety.